Hello my dear friend, welcome back to my channel. I hope you had an amazing February. And now it's time to do March bullet journal plan with me. It's kinda already spring in California, so I decided to do a botanical theme for this month. As for the cover page, it's heavily inspired by Shinda Campbell, who is an amazing artist. She's an expertise on flowers and plants, so I also learned a lot from her. So let's get started. I'm drawing leaves and flowers around the big M. When you place them, make sure that they're right against the letter so the shape could be defined more clearly. Like right now, I'm using flowers and leaves on the left perimeter of the M. The shape will show up more once we start to add line shading on it. I think I'm still a botanical drawing beginner. I try my best to come up with different types of leaves, but here I only have about 5 or 6 different kinds. So for the leaves that show up more than 2 or 3 times in your drawing, make sure that they look not exactly the same, otherwise it'll be too boring. When you draw the flower and leaves, also try to think about where you want to make darker and where you want to leave it blank. You can do it while drawing the outer line, or just like me, finish all line work and then do the shading. To make this image more vivid, now I'm going to add texture to our plants. Also, I want to create contrast, especially on the edge, so I'm filling in with leaves and flowers that are right next to the letter, or totally blank them out. It's like negative and positive space in architecture or yin and yang in Tai Chi. Remember to take a look of overall once in a while to make sure that the black and white are well balanced. You don't want to have one side to be super dark and the other side to have too much black. But for the sharp turning edges, do not hesitate to use your black pen. It will help to show the letter M more clearly. By the time I finished this page, I realized it cost me almost half an hour just for lining, not including the pencil drawing. So if you want to do something similar, maybe you want to try a little bit bigger flowers and leaves. Then the page will turn out clear and neat. I think I put too much things, so it looks a little bit too crowded. But it all depends on you. I think it's a pretty good practice. So this is my 4th month to do bullet journal. I'm so excited to try different styles and different ways to paint. Besides the cover page that I'm using black and white line work style, I'm also trying different color pens, which I don't know if it's a success or failure because I've been using watercolor, which is my comfort zone. Overall, I think it's a good experience. Now let's give the edge a little bit thicker outline and then move to the next step. I decided to do a cutaway style for my cover page, so I leave about ½ centimeter on the edge and then cut about 10 blocks away from the right side. What I'm using are an exact knife and a cutting mat. You can also use scissors if it works better for you. On the life page, I write down this French proverb, "Wherever life plants you, bloom with grace." I like it a lot because it reminds me that do my best in any situation. No matter what happens, do your best. Here I'm using tumble water-based dual pen for the first time after I bought it, but I think I still need to practice more on how to use the mixing pen. On the page below, I leave space on the right side for 10 blocks because this will show with the cover page, and I'm just going to write down this month March and my social media follow tracker. For monthly calendar view, since I don't have that many planned in this month, I don't want to take a whole spread page for it. I decided to make it small and clear and then fit into the back of this cover page. And then I write down the to-do list and goal. I found out that this monthly goal is actually pretty good. It helps me to chop down the big goal into specific steps that is easier to do. And then again, I'm using tumble pen to color March to match the theme color. So yeah, this is the cover page and monthly view setup. I actually like how it turned out even though I think I can do better. I'll leave the space for improvement next time when I do this style cover page again. The next is Happy and Sleep Tracker. You can see pretty clear pencil mark on this page because like I said, I'm still new to botanic drawing, so it took me a little bit time to work on the pencil sketch. And just in case I mess it up, I decide to leave pencil mark until I finish the line work. Here are some tips for plants drawing just based on my experience. Try to figure out the front-back relationship of each leaf and use the front one to cover the one on the back. It can make your drawing more vivid and real. I also try to put in a few different kinds of plants here. I'm not really good at taking care of plants, but what I know is those what I'm drawing here are pretty easy to survive based on my experience. Okay, based on my mom's experience, because she loved plants, but just like me, she cannot take care of them very well, so she chose the one who survived easily. This month, I also tried this different way of each habit's calendar, and I'm so regret to do this because I've been using stamps in the previous month, and it only took a few seconds for each habit. Now I have to write down 1 to 31 for every single calendar I put in here. It is so hard, especially I'm so bad at number handwriting. The only reason I make this way is to leave more space to draw plants. I think I'll definitely try a different way for the next month. Oh, forgot to mention, I'm going to use this font through this month's spread. I think it's pretty cute and easy to write. On the right corner, I leave this trunk space for a sleep log. I'm not doing well on building good sleep habit for the last few months, but ever since I come back from New York last week, I think I'm getting better thanks to jet lag. Now I'm ready to try out a few different kinds of color pens. I usually use watercolor that I make my own color palette, but today I'm using Tumbledore pen, Arteza watercolor pen, Crayola Super Tips, all the green color pen I have. Honestly, even though I have about 8 different shades of green and end up at using the ones that are not super pop out and not super dark. So still pretty limited, but I think it should be enough for bullet journal. I think I may made some mistakes while coloring them. I didn't really try on a separate paper, so some color didn't turn out as what I want. Well, this is fine because I fixed a little bit later. Process not recorded, but you can see the final log at the flip through at the end of this video. As I mentioned earlier about the front-back relationship of leaves, you can also make it work by coloring the leaves on the back a little bit darker. Since there are already many different kinds of green, I try to only use one brown color for coloring the pots on this page. Make the color unevenly distributed is another way to give it some variety, or you can draw some pattern on the pots. Again, I'm not really happy with my coloring, so I fix it later and you see a better version of this page at flip through. Then I'm adding colors to the habit title bars, as well as the title of this spread. Here is my habit and sleep tracker page. The color turns out a little bit darker than expected, but I think it's okay. Let's move on to mood tracker. I plan to draw 31 different plants on this page. Honestly, this preparation took me some time, and now I can say I learned a lot of plants knowledge through this progress. I try to draw everyone simple but clear, and because I have to save space on the pot for writing down the date, I just decided to leave it blank and not to do too much design on them. While technically they're not all different, I draw a few cactus and elan just in different shapes. But you also have a lot of freedom to add some different texture or spikes, whatever you want. It all depends on you. When it comes to pure leaves plants, I try to simplify them and just use 2 or 3 branches to represent. Sometimes 1 branch is enough too. I also try to give pots or vests some variety, make it tall, short, thin, fat, triangle shape, round shape, or some irregular shapes. I write the mood letters big and put the tracker on the right up corner. It turns out pretty good. For the mood color, I pick different shades of green plus yellow and orange. Hopefully by the end of this month, all my plants are still alive and green, not yellow and falling. On the right side, I'm going to draw a really simple expense tracker and also with the same style title. I also give the plant studio a thicker outline. Overall, I think it looks pretty cute and I can't wait to fill them up. On the next page, I have brain dump and Instagram plan. Again, I leave pretty heavy pencil mark here, also because I did this pencil sketch on the airplane to New York City. Speaking of which, if you're interested in travel themed bullet journal or New York City doodle, I'll leave the link on the right up corner. You are very welcome to check it out on my February bullet journal setup. It's a totally different style compared to the one I'm doing for March. Okay, come back to here. I tried to combine a few different types of leaves and flowers. Also, I draw the middle one a little bit over the bar to give it a feeling like the flower is growing towards us, same as the two main flowers on the bottom, if that makes sense to you. I think it's totally okay to use pencil guide. I've seen people who can draw things from nothing with a liner pen, which is super cool, but now I prefer to use pencil for guarantee. And again, I'm going to use the same font for this page title. I think the flowers are not detailed enough, so I'm adding more texture on it. Now I'm drawing boxes for Instagram tracker. I draw 31 but not sure if I can make it every day, just in case. By the way, the boxes are 4x4 if the number helps for you. If you haven't followed me on Insta, here's my account. Okay, this is my brain dump and Instagram tracker page. And finally, we come to the first week spread setup. I'm using a typical layout. Each day has 9 blocks in line space on the 2 sides and leave the middle for hanging plants. I spent some effort on the first plant because it's my mom's favorite, and of course, this one is really easy to survive. Then for the rest, I choose a few different kinds of plants and flowers to make the page more interesting. The hanging containers or pots being in different shape also helps. I continue this font to this and the next 3-week spreads to match the whole month style, and then use 1x1 block to write dates. Again, for coloring, I choose 3 different shades of green cooperating with line shading, and also I put some cute small flowers in this page, so I'm going to add some pink and yellow later. Since I use black blocks, I'm using red gel pen to write the dates. Based on my previous experience, the stamp ink I bought cannot touch water, including color pen, so I had to highlight the week before using it. In this video, like always, I'm going to continue and finish the next 3-week spread with all different layout and designs. So if you're interested, please keep watching, and I'll show you the flip through at the end of this video. Don't miss it. So in this weekly spread, I divided into 6 columns. Each column has 8 blocks with 1 in between, and each day I'm using a vase with 1 type of plant. I also combine weekends 2 days into 1 because that's usually enough for the weekend. Then for color choosing, I give regular green to leaves and pink, yellow to flowers to match the previous page. The next week, I'm doing an all leaves page. First, I draw all the leaves in 3 different shades of green and then write the dates on top of them. Finally, we're on the last week's spread. Since there are 5 weeks in March and the 5th one only has 2 more days, I decided to put them into the 4th week. I make each day and 10 by 11 boxes with 2 blocks gaps, and then randomly draw some plants around each box's corner. It's funny that until I write down the date at the end, I realized that I accidentally make one more extra box. So I changed it to monthly summary, which is actually not a bad idea that I think I may keep doing for the next month. So yeah, this is my March bullet journal setup. I tried out some new things and also made some mistakes. Not sure if I want to continue the same style the next month, but I really enjoy making it for March. I hope this video is helpful or inspiring for you. Please leave comments below if you have any questions. And if you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to turn on the bell. For more updates, you can follow me on Instagram too. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing March.